My name is Nicky Smart. I'm the design manager for General Motors Advanced Design Studio on the West Coast here in North Hollywood in Los Angeles. And I'm also the designer for this vehicle here, the ULC, the Urban Luxury Concept. Typically we associate a target customer when we develop products, and they aren't the only customer that the vehicle would appeal to, obviously, but they, if you like, epitomise who we feel the vehicle is most relevant for. And in the case of the Urban Luxury Concept, that's a young professional couple, possibly a nuclear family. So both mother and father have a busy lifestyle. They maybe have an infant, and this vehicle is really to address the needs for people in that market that have some sort of affluence. They have luxury tastes, maybe. They live in a very comfortable house, but they're living in an urban environment. It's not the traditional statements of luxury, and to be honest, a larger, more traditional luxury vehicle is maybe not that relevant to their lifestyle. There's a lot of restrictions in the urban environment in terms of space and parking, and whilst the customer may want to have luxuriously appointed interior details and things that you'd find in a luxury vehicle, they need something that's smaller. It just makes much more sense for their environment. So that's what we've really concentrated on with this car, is to make sure that certainly in terms of an interior space, this car delivers everything that a Cadillac should. Most importantly is the access to the car, to be able to access the front row of seating and the second row of seating just as conveniently. And that's really what the elaborate door system that you see here goes a long way to allow to be possible. And that's really why the door is trying to acknowledge that in tight parking spaces you don't have a lot of room. There's not a lot of space to swing a large door. And we've chosen to create this mechanism that has the door sliding out of the car and rotating vertically next to the vehicle. So you need a very small amount of space to get in and out of the car. But you can equally get into the second row of seating and the front row of seating at the same time. So it's essentially one large door. Well, internally within General Motors, we have two types of vehicles that we show at auto shows that we term concept cars. Some of those are precursors to production vehicles that are coming out in the near future, and we want to give people an insight as to what to expect. The other type of vehicle is something that's unrelated to anything we're planning to reduce, and it's really an investigation to ask a question to the public, to get their reaction, get their input, to get their opinions about how they feel about the car, and to be honest, whether it's something that they would consider buying in the future. It's very difficult to put a price on a vehicle like this for a show. I work in an advanced design studio, and we create models. Not quite to this level, but we're creating models all the time to work on internally, to take to clinics, to show to people. It's something that we're set up to do. It's very important to get a model to a finished level so that when people come to the show and look at it, for them it really is essentially as real as any car around on the stand that's even a production vehicle. So we need to convince people that they're looking at something that is completely real. It's in no way compromised. It's not a sort of a less resolved version of a production vehicle. So it's something that we're set up to do on a daily basis. We do a lot of models, a lot of design work. We invest a great deal of time and money into our internal thoughts, internal discussions about what should be produced. And this is really short of a production vehicle, obviously, as a concept car. But it is really the fruits of a lot of thinking, a lot of investigation. It's really out there as an example for people to give us feedback.